You said you want to talk about Ohio, right? And the immigration thing.
Yes, TJ. I've been waiting to talk about this ever since I got
You've been
absolutely
chomping at the
obsessed with it
bit,
on
so to
Monday.
speak. No pun intended.
This is a story, like stories come and go. The news cycle, it washes through things, but every once in a while, something just sticks with you personally. This was one of them for me because the harmfulness and absurdity and just blatant racism of this story is so striking to me. And I know that I shouldn't be surprised with Donald Trump and the conservative sphere being racist about immigrants. Like, they do it all the time, and they've done it since 2016. But this one, this is it for anyone who's like, hey, why was Donald Trump talking about eating cats and dogs? Here's what happened. 20,000 Haitian immigrants, legal Haitian immigrants. I want to emphasize that again, legal Haitian immigrants moved to this town in Ohio. This town was called Springfield, Ohio. That town was dying. If you've ever driven through Rust Belt America, and this is do it all the time, not necessarily Ohio, but I'm from Pennsylvania, it is depressing because you see town after town after town that used to be industrial towns that are now just devastated. Houses are boarded up, and the people who are there, half of them are opioid addicts. And that might sound like an exaggerated number, and I am pulling it out of my ass, but that is what it genuinely feels like when you drive through these towns. And that's not just disparage the people there. They are victims. These towns have been victimized by corporate America in multiple different facets. This town of Springfield, Ohio, rebranded itself, started a program in order to attract businesses to the area, and it was massively successful. They got an auto parts manufacturer to come. They got a microchip manufacturer to come. They got like a lot of different businesses came to Springfield, Ohio, and eventually they didn't have any more people to hire because all of the young people in this town, like so many of these Rust Belt towns, either left or stayed and got addicted to opioids. And so they were just out of working age people to hire. So then you need to bring people in. And it's kind of just word spread through the Haitian immigrant community. Hey, Springfield, Ohio, we got a community here. There'll be people who you're familiar with, but there's going to be jobs for you. So 20,000 immigrants come to this town. Now, on paper, Republicans see that and they're like, oh my God, 20,000 immigrants flooded this Ohio town of 60,000 people. This is awful. They're overloading resources, blah, 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 blah. But that is the exact opposite of what happened. The story of Springfield, Ohio is a story of immigrants coming in and revitalizing a dying American town. That is what really strikes me about this story, is that if you actually look into it, it is the opposite of everything that these people are saying. And now I'm sure you're thinking, well, where does the fucking eating dogs and cats come into this? And it came into this because Ian Miles Chong, wonderful, not American citizen, is obsessed with American politics. He just tweeted out this story about this woman who was arrested for eating a cat. This woman did eat a cat. The problem is, he said it was Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. Couple problems with that. This woman was born in America. She's not from Haiti. Other problem, she's not from Springfield. This town was 170 miles away. It just also happened to be in Ohio. So then that just went around. Charlie Kirk talked about it. Elon Musk talked about it. All of the big names, like they brought it up. And then in a couple days, this just snowballed. And then you have former President Donald Trump saying it on a national presidential debate stage that Haitians are eating cats and dogs. This community that genuinely is a success story is being so racistly described as eating these savages coming over and eating these cats and dogs. I swear to God, when you look back and read things about like Britain and how they talked about the fucking Africans that they were colonizing, it reads the same way as these stories about these people. And it is disgusting. It is everything that is wrong with the conservative movement and the anti-immigrant ideology. I just got on my stump and talked for like 10 minutes there. Paul, let me hear what you have to say about
So
this.
did you
I don't
see
know
what
how
hap-
much you guys knew about this story.
I know all about
I did my research.
I'm in between. I live between Cincinnati and Dayton. Springfield is right
Okay.
outside of Dayton. Did you see what happened today in Springfield?
Today?
Oh, no.
I did.
Take
Oh,
a
no.
gander. Take a
Oh
gander.
no! Was someone
Fred.
attacks?
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul, gander might be the wrong word.
Yeah, take a look.
Described
Yeah, you might need
Gaby's
that.
story.
Yeah.
Whoever eats ducks or geese? Nobody. Oh wait.
Yeah.
No, there were
That's
bomb
funny.
threats all over the city today. All over the
Really?
city. Yep.
Wow.
Because go figure, of course, because the commando cosplaying cowards think that they're going to go in there and do something about something that isn't happening. That's what they do every time. They make up something and they cause violence to people who do not deserve it, only because they don't like them. They don't like them. And Donald Trump made that very clear in the debate that the only reason that he doesn't like immigration is because he doesn't like immigrants. He doesn't want any of them here. And he'll do whatever he can to make sure that they are targeted. And it's disgusting and terrifying. Yeah, Canton is near Cleveland. And they found that police footage going around where they found that woman who was mentally unfit. Like she literally pled by reason of insanity. And they found that on Twitter, of course. Where else would they find it? Then to attach what they want to do, like, well, we have to find a group that we dislike that we want to get rid of here. Oh, it must be all these 20,000 people that are in Springfield, a number that's unprovable. Who, even the mayor's like, no, these are good people. They're working very hard. They've contributed so much to the society of Springfield. And now I guarantee you there's going to be consistent and constant attacks and violence happening there, which is despicable. Just despicable. I mean, even think about, sorry, I'm going to rant.
Go for it. Yes. Everyone gets one. Everyone gets one every show.
What do they think the point of people coming to? So they think that people want to uproot their entire life, their entire family, spend all this money, all this time and effort to come to this country to immediately eat animals, pets, and kill people. For what purpose? Like, oh, I came here. I want to go to jail right away. I don't and because I've had this in my comments, I'm sure you have too, if you've said anything about it, that the government did it. The government paid for all of them to come here. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do you mean the governor of Ohio? Because that's Mike DeWine and he's a Republican. Or do you mean the governor of Springfield? Because he's also a Republican. Or do you mean Joe Biden? Because what you're saying is that Joe Biden, who's already having some pretty low polling, wants to further damage his reputation by paying for bringing all of these people into this country to cause crime and hurt people to further just damage his reputation. That makes no goddamn sense.
But Paul, it does in the mind of someone who's been listening to this bullshit from Donald Trump from the last 8 years. And this is why words are dangerous.
Fox News for like 30 years.
Exactly. When you just fearmonger and fearmonger and fearmonger, this seems like a reasonable story. If you actually believe that immigrants are terrible people and these millions of criminals, so much so many criminal immigrants are coming here that the world's crime rates are dropping. If you actually believe this shit, Democrats are at fault here too, because they have cowardly just let Republicans do this. And they no longer even try to fight this. They don't say, like, if Kamala Harris actually fucking like cared, she'd be like, yeah, no, Springfield, Ohio, no, their GDP has increased. I think it's like fucking 50% since 2020 when these Haitian immigrants started coming. They've added thousands of jobs in this town. They're revitalizing the town. But I don't see any Democrats doing that. They don't push back on immigration anymore, and it's quite sad to me because no one's fighting for it.
No, well, we're not talking about it in a realistic way. Like they've taken the conversation away from, we need more judges, we need more lawyers, we need more money to put into the system that takes 1 to 3 years for someone to be vetted and processed to be able to come here legally, which I don't know if anyone knows about time. That's a long time. And of course they're going to be desperate because they're trying to get away from an area. Where are they going to live? How are they going to survive? They're trying to provide for their family, which impacts the communities like Springfield, enriches their communities, enriches their culture. Like all of this stuff is good. I mean, all of us came here and, it's so mind-numbing that we're not having the real conversation. And like you said, I think Democrats are at fault for trying to avoid it because I don't think they know quite how to talk about it because they don't want to admit to the grandiose things that the right says, but they also don't want to deal with the reality that we do have a problem. Like I heard in 2020 when Biden was elected that immigration went from about 50,000 a week, was it, or something? Maybe a month, I can't remember, to 300,000. That's I mean, there's no denying that that's a drastic increase and a problem. But
yeah, the problem with this is that Republicans or conservatives in general aren't honest about their feelings on immigration. Is that if you talk to them, what they'll often say is, listen, we're not against immigration. Now, this is a nation of immigrants. Immigrants have made this country great. We are against illegal immigration. And so you're like, okay, all right, I guess I can respect that decision. You know, that stance makes sense to me. So how about we make the immigration process easier? Fuck no, not happening. Well, it would be legal then. Nope, sorry. And then you realize, okay, and then this, like what you said about this Haitian immigrant thing is a perfect example of this, because they're not even pretending they're illegal immigrants. I guess some of them may pretend.
No, they're lying about it. They are lying about it and saying they're illegal.
They're illegal immigrants. But yeah, it's not going to matter. It's like, oh yeah, they don't really care because I saw someone post something with this, and what they said about this attack on the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, just out of fucking nowhere, by the way. It's like, it's 15, 20,000 people. Haitian immigrants make up for 1% or less of the immigrants that come to the United States, legal or otherwise. And just like, they need a specific group to target. If it's Venezuelans, if it's Syrians, if it's usually Mexicans, and now it's Haitians. It's their turn on the ladder here. But the attack this time is that they're kidnapping your cats and dogs and eating them is so vile and targeted in the racism that someone referred to it as like, this isn't just, horrible racism. It's a touchdown dance. This is just them showing how far they've pushed the rhetoric that they can go that low, like that fucking low, and said, yeah, we can't let these people in. They're eating our fucking cats. And because, the visceral reaction that's going to get from people. And I saw this. There's this guy. His name's like Oliveira or something. And I saw a post from him this morning. And it was talking about, well, the news, they're telling you that this whole Haitians rounding up cats and eating them is nonsense. But I'm here on the ground in Springfield, Ohio. And these good folks here, they're telling me otherwise. And he's interviewing the first guy. I swear to God, I'm trying to find a way to say this without getting in trouble. The very first guy he talks to points to some supposedly, I guess, Haitian immigrants. And is like, do you want to talk to him? He's like, no, I don't want to go talk to that sand. And he does say monkey. He ends up with a monkey. But I was like, that's the first line out of this guy's mouth. And it's like a 20-minute video. Like, okay, you're starting off like this. I don't think this is going to be a credible source. And one person says, listen, I saw a Haitian immigrant driving a van, and the van had 100 cats in it. He had 100 cats in there. And I'm thinking, okay, first off, how fucking big is this van? And how did you know it was 100 cats anyway? But what size is this van? Second, have you ever tried to catch one cat? Have you ever tried to catch one fucking cat?
I was saying about that called cats as a thing, like you can't do it.
You can't herding cats. Yes, exactly. That's an actual trite. It is a trite expression. Like if you put it in a paper, like, no, come up with something better, because this is like the most easy phrase. Yeah, if you and 12 of your friends had all day to catch as many cats as you could, you would be lucky to catch 10 cats. Lucky to catch
Mythbusters. They tried to herd cats and they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I saw it on TV.
That's right. Absolute insanity. And so what really, I wasn't surprised that this became like a standard mainline talking point from the conservatives, but I was a little shocked to see that JD Vance said something, because usually, now Trump is immune to this, but usually when you get to that level of representative politics, you kind of avoid the overtly racist shit. And JD Vance, okay, John.
I know exactly. Just share it. Just share it.
Okay, yeah. I was like, so JD Vance said, this is either the day of or the day before the debate. And he said that in the last several weeks, my office has received many inquiries from actual residents of Springfield who said their neighbors' pets or local wildlife were abducted by Haitian migrants. It's possible, of course, that all these rumors will turn out to be false. And then, did you know what's confirmed that a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be there, and just go straight into, and then at the very bottom, is like a spare your robbery for fellow citizens suffering under Kamala Harris, whatever. But it's just that immediately went.
TJ, go down to the next tweet.
Yeah, the next thing after him, he said, I saw something.
I was oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, keep the cat memes flowing. That's the part. I thought that was the end of the first tweet, but right there. So he knows it's bullshit. He knows it's false, and he's like, "Hey, I don't give a fuck. Share it anyway." Making fun of like one of the most underprivileged groups you could possibly imagine in the United States, and vilifying them on a national stage is hilarious to me. It's fucking funny. Keep doing it. And it's like that's where the conservative movement is at today. I guess it's always been there, but it's overtly there right now.
So I did a video today where
whether they're true or not. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I did a video today where I posted JD Vance's phone number.
And
I told him, like, JD Vance is very receptive to your phone call, so you better call him where you saw that, 30-ish something guy with long hair wearing a loincloth doing what looked like pull-ups on a lowercase t, exposing themselves to kids in a church. Like, just inundate him with things that are ridiculous. Like, I saw a single female with a cat. What's happening? She didn't have kids either. Like, just inundate him with ridiculousness, because one, it shows he has no experience in politics. I mean, he had no right running for Senate. Peter Thiel gave him all that money so that he won in Ohio, and boy, I'm disgusted the fact that he's my senator. But he is a horrible human being. Like, we're learning that more and more. Like, wow, this guy's something else. In the best way.
But he doesn't talk to Donald Trump. So that's
yeah. Donald did say that. I don't really talk to JD. I'm like,
that was so funny. Oh man, I just Donald Trump has to be seething every fucking day that his kids or whoever talked him into picking JD Vance, because wow, what a fucking albatross around the neck of this campaign JD Vance has been. Because yeah, he's not only is he weird, no one can deny this, and he's just creepy and evil, like in the worst ways imaginable. Like he's like preternaturally repulsive to everybody who watches him. It's just wild shit. If you guys would permit me, I would love
TJ. Before you do, I wanted to share one thing.
Yeah.
Because JD Vance in that tweet, he mentioned a kid who was killed by a Haitian driver. And this Haitian driver he was driving without a license. Like this is a real thing that happened. But this is the parents of the kid who was killed. Speaking about how Republicans have been using him as a political dead soldier.
I saw. Yeah.
Politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, JD Vance, and Donald Trump. They have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed, to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio. I will listen to them one more time to hear their apologies. To clear the air, my son, Aiden Clark, was not murdered. He was accidentally killed by an immigrant from Haiti. This tragedy is felt all over this community, the state, and even the nation. But don't spin this towards hate. In order to live like Aiden, you need to accept everyone. Choose to shine, make the difference, lead the way, and be the inspiration. What many people in this community and state and nation are doing is the opposite of what you should be doing. Sure, we have our problems here in Springfield and in the U.S., but does Aiden Clark have anything to do with that? Did you know that an 11-year-old boy could be passionate about gardening, that he could haggle for a better price at a yard sale? Did you know that he researched different cultures to better appreciate and understand people that he interacted with? Did you know that one of the worst feelings in the world is to not be able to protect your child? Even worse, we can't even protect his memory when he's gone. Please stop the hate. I said to Aiden that I would try to make a difference in his honor. This is it. Live like Aiden. Thank you.
And conservatives have shut down that man's throat. They've called him a race traitor. They've called him all. And we're not talking about just random people. We're talking about people with large fucking followings. And it just really goes to show that the people they think they're fighting for and they're substantially saying they're defending, well, the parents of the kid that died are telling you shut the fuck up. And they're not going to shut the fuck up because they don't care. It's not actually about what they say it's about. It's about spreading the hate, and they'll drag that dead kid's body through the streets if it means that one more person hates Haitian immigrants.
Yeah. It's like when this thing caught fire, it actually did caught fire. It caught like 24 hours before the debate. Like Trump almost missed it. Like if it had happened a little bit later, he could have like avoided this. But I remember people saying that, no matter who wins this election, like that is a very dark sign for how far we've come down this road here, where Donald Trump started like dropping the pretense of, the racist language. You no longer have to say, we want to protect American jobs. You can just say Mexicans are rapists. You no longer have to say, I have concerns about the Middle East. Like, no, I want to ban Muslims. Like, just go straight for it. Why not? Like, just mainline that shit. And it's just exacerbated over time. It's just gotten worse and worse. And yeah, it is just it is kind of dark seeing how this has turned out, and it's not going to get even if Trump loses, which I suspect he will, it's not going to get any better. But I'm still going to make fun of him. I'm still going to do that because that's something I love to do. And of course I lost the clip right here. But all right, so I'll play this one instead. I was going to finish the clip where Trump was talking about the dogs and everything. But this is a clip I saw from CNN. And I don't know what the name of the show is, but I've seen it before, but it's kind of like a panel. And there's a Republican, anchor or, employee at CNN. And they're asking him, hey, how does this make you feel, with the way that they're talking right here? And let's see, I'll go ahead and share what he said here. I found this quite interesting.
Is the real question.
Yesterday, when he said that, he wasn't being sarcastic. He wasn't being hyperbolic. He was amplifying a conspiracy theory that I think you would agree puts a target on the back of Haitian immigrants, and that it is based on racism. Would you agree on that?
Anti-Black racism would be more pointed.
Do you think that if there were 20,000 Scandinavians that have been sent to Springfield, people would be saying that they're eating cats and dogs and geese?
I'm not going to answer for him, for his memes, or anything else. But I am.
But I'm asking you: do you think that conspiracy is based on racism?
Because
it's an
because I'm not going to answer. I don't know. I don't know.
That was a long pause, Scott. I mean,
because I don't know the answer. I'm not going to sit here and answer for somebody. I don't talk to Donald Trump about what the motivations are, and I don't answer to you either.
But Scott, what is the answer for you?
But the bottom line is,
I thought that was a fantastic exchange, and my favorite part was when she asked, do you think if this was 20,000 Scandinavian immigrants, they would be spreading this "they're eating cats" thing? It wouldn't exist. It wouldn't at all. And I thought that was great. And also, this is something that we've all had to deal with ever since Trump's nomination, especially, is talking to people who people you grew up with, people that you were friendly with, and you're like, okay, you're a Republican. What are your thoughts on this? Like, does this shit bother you? And the answers are quite telling, because a lot of times you do get that long pause. And for those people, I'm actually a little more upset with, because they know it's fucked up and they know it's wrong. The ones who are like, no, Trump's great. Like, okay, they're lost. They're gone. There's nothing you can do about them. But the ones who put that pause in there, who are trying their dead level best to rationalize, how can I still support this, Bull Connor level of racism, basically, and still live with myself as a human being and say this shit out loud, even if it's what they think. They know that these thoughts aren't acceptable in polite company. And I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, they clearly are enabling him. Like, I mean, I feel the same way. Like, You know exactly who this man is, and you support him. You are responsible for this. To act like it's all on him, like, I don't know, I can't speak for him. Well, like, then you shouldn't vote for him if you're not going to try to defend what he does, or at least go against what he says, and they won't do any of it. They do it every single time. Every single time he says something, they're like, oh, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I don't know. What did he say that? Oh, like they always find ways out, excuses, or like, well, I'm not responsible for what he says. I'm like, you are, though. He represents you. You vote for him. What he says also reflects on you. So either push against it or don't. I mean, we try to do that on the left. I don't know that we're always great at it. We certainly have our issues with that as well, especially when you have a debate performance from someone and say that it was shitty, and they're like, no, it wasn't. It was great. But but yeah, they have to own this, and they won't. They never will. And you were saying earlier about the fact that even if he loses this election, we still have to deal with the things that he fomented, which is permission to go as far as they want with the worst things they want without any consequence from within. No shame within their own party, really.
And that really is the crux of it, because you're right. Like there are a substantial amount of Democrats who were riding with Biden. Their entire worldview is Biden's right, and anything he says is right. And if he says something I previously thought was wrong is right, well, that thing's right now. And that there are Democrats like that. Don't get me wrong. But that's the entire fucking Republican Party. Mm-hmm. It's every single one of them. I've actually been waiting for a Ben Shapiro or someone to be the first to break. And I thought that this debate might have done it, because there's so many moments during this debate where you just have to come to Jesus and be like, yeah, he just said he has a concept of a plan.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, you're right.
We didn't even, again, there's so many things that he said he knows this happened because he saw a man on TV said it. I'm telling you.
She's got so many good commercials
like that, we
coming
called him out. Like, there was substantial portions of the left who would call Joe Biden out for that shit. There are substantial portions of the left, like less substantial portions of the left, but there are still large portions of the left that call Kamala Harris out when she says bullshit. You know, that doesn't exist for Trump. You don't have major fucking influencers on the right. Forget about media pundits. You don't even have influencers on the right who will call Donald Trump out on this bullshit. And it should be. I can't take you serious. If you tell me, yeah, no, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I think he's going to be better than the Democratic Party because I hate their policies and everything. Fine. That's a legitimate argument.
Yep.
And I'll have that. I'll have that conversation with you. I'll treat you as if you're acting in good faith. But if you're going to sit here and tell me, after watching Donald Trump say he has a concept of a plan, that guy's the guy you want in office, I'm going to treat you just like the fuckers who said they wanted Joe Biden in office after the first debate, as you're just not acting in good faith. Yeah. And that's the difference between us and them, is at least we have more people like us, and also people in the actual power and in media and everything who will call our people out on that bullshit. Donald Trump just continues to get a free pass. And what happens is when he says something so absurd, everyone has to dig their heels in. And it just gets worse and worse and worse until suddenly it's mainstream media talking points that Haitians are going around eating people's pets.
And causing violence against those people. I mean, it's Comet Ping Pong, Comet Pizza. It's the guy here going to the FBI. It's entirety of January 6th. All they do is create the havoc and violence of the thoughtless, careless, awful opinions that they share as if it doesn't matter. And I don't know if it's because they don't care or if it's because they are purposely wanting to cause that sort of turmoil. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think the primary problem is something that we don't stress quite enough. We do mention this, but not enough. And folks, the reality is the Trump base is the dumbest group of motherfuckers you will ever run across. Like the base of Trump support are people who are uninformed and uneducated. And I don't mean uneducated like they didn't go to college. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like they literally can't think. And it's like they don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything about the structure. They don't know anything about the rules of the system of government. They were taught in the bullshit American mythology that we all were when we were in fourth grade and never moved beyond that. They never moved beyond fourth grade in anything. Like by biology, they always say, oh, well, there's obviously two sexes because that's what I learned in eighth grade science. They never moved any further. And that's what we're stuck with. And like there's a strong correlation, like a almost equal correlation between how little you know about politics and how strongly you support Donald Trump. And that follows for pretty much every single category. And that's just something that it's not polite to say out loud, that, you know, the Trump supports are, you know, double digit IQ individuals out there. But there's just I don't know how to tackle this because, well, as long as Trump is in this, he's going to activate those people. And when Trump goes away, those folks will kind of fall off. But we're kind of stuck with, you know what? Here it is. Here's how I'll put it. Here's how I can put it. Is that there are plenty of smart Trump supporters. Like I've run across Trump supporters who were intelligent, you know, educated in all these issues, which they're the most twisted ones, honestly, the ones that actually trickle down economics doesn't work. I know it, but I love it. And those folks are the ones worried about. So yeah, it's possible that you could have smart friends who are Trump supporters. I'm not saying that. However, no matter who you are, this applies to all Americans of every stripe, every state. The dumbest person you know, definitely a Trump supporter. Like, think of the dumbest person that you personally know, like the most knuckle dragging mouth breather you've ever run across. There's 100% chance that person's a Trump supporter. So think about it that way. It's just, that's the reason we're.
I hate to say that that's dead accurate for me.
It is.
I can't even deny it.
Yeah, I challenge anyone. To think about the dumbest person they know, the person who's the least informed, the least intelligent, I'm not going to be mean now, but the dumbest person you know is like, oh, this Trump guy makes a lot of sense. You will never, ever run across like a goddamn simpleton, the dumbest person, like that Ilhan Omar. She's got some great ideas. It'll never happen. It will never fucking happen. It's like, this is what, like, it's annoying that conservatives, like, they say, oh, you know, you lefties, you look down on us. Of course we do. Of course we do. We know more than you guys. It's like, you were born, we're part of the same.
He said he has a concept of a plan, and you're just going with that.
And then it's coming really soon.
Look up to that.
It's always coming down the road. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
really soon.
It's so years. They don't know an obvious con man when they see one, and no matter how much you tell them, they're not going to. And it's just, it gets exhausting. That's all I want to say. It gets exhausting. Try that sometime. And by the way, if you can't think of the dumbest person you know that's a Trump supporter, you're probably a Trump supporter, and you are the dumbest person around in your friend group. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. But lost my voice there. It was my turn for my rant. My voice started cracking. I gotta do something.
That's true. I think you're right about one thing. They are. When Trump goes away, God, it can't be soon enough, they will go away too, because I don't think they're real voters. I don't think they've ever been involved. Nope. I don't think they care. I think they saw him on TV.
Yep.
Therefore, vote for him. Me saw TV, like, I vote. Like, that's their simple, like, oh, I saw this guy. Okay, I vote for him now because he do what I like. Like, they're simple little cavemen going like, me like guy who says loud words that I like because I'm afraid. I mean, that's really it. Like, he's saying, look at the fire. Like, oh, no. And then run to their cave and vote for him.
That's true. We talk about in the show all the time. Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of those people. She famously says that she never got involved in politics or voted until Trump came along. And that's what we've activated. So I guess folks like her that actually made careers out of this, we got to worry about. But the vast majority of them are going to go back to, you know, whatever the hell they were doing. I don't know.
All right, guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. You genuinely have no idea how much that helped the algorithm. And if you're here right now, I'm sure you were here for our live stream of the presidential debate, which you probably just heard us talking about. Definitely be here for the next one if it happens, if Donald Trump is not a fucking chicken. Now, if you want more excellent content like this and you loved our guests, Paul, tell people where they can find you.
I'm mostly going to be on TikTok, and you can find me at Wiseacre Design. And Wiseacre doesn't mean I am full of acres of wisdom. It means I'm a smartass. So you can expect that kind of content.
I love it. I love it. Thanks so much, folks. We really appreciate it. You guys are our favorite viewers. You're fantastic. We hope you appreciated Paul coming on and watching us all this time. Like with our show, we don't have a plan. We have concepts of a plan, and we seem to do it pretty well, I think. So we really appreciate it. We'll catch you guys later. All right. So